How desperate has the situation become for those civilians there?
Well, it's becoming more and more desperate, and certainly there is mounting international concern about the plight of these civilians. At the moment, the aid agencies estimate there are 250,000 people trapped. Now, that figure is very much disputed by the Sri Lankan government, who say it's been grossly exaggerated. They believe the figure is half of that, about 120,000 civilians. Even so, whatever the correct figure is, it's a lot of civilians we're talking about. These civilians have been pretty much cut off. They're trapped in a battle zone. The Sri Lankan forces, 50,000 troops or whatever, are continuing their march. They're encroaching bit by bit into Tamil Tiger rebel territory. They made further ground today, taking over the Vishwanadu town, which is part of the Mullaitivu district. They captured a Tamil Tiger rebel submarine, or they found it, and they also uncovered one of their bunkers. So they are gradually, slowly, bit by bit encroaching. The Sri Lankan government says they are in no mood to consider a ceasefire, and that is exactly what the UN and the other aid agencies are demanding, including the British Foreign Secretary David Miliband. They feel that there needs to be some sort of ceasefire, a lull in the fighting, to allow these civilians to escape safely.
What, if anything, at the moment then, Alex, are the aid agencies able to do in terms of helping the people that are trapped?
There's very little that they can do. They themselves are not allowed into the area. They've got a number of their vehicles stranded. They have a few staff. About half a dozen of the aid agencies have staff also in that area. Many of them, or most of them, are unable to leave. They're in the same position as the civilians. Communications, as you can imagine, are very, very difficult. So there's very little communication between those aid workers who are inside the trap zone and the aid agencies who are operating from the capital where I am. So communication's very difficult. The situation is very intense, with a battle going on. There are helicopter gunships, there are tanks moving in, there are troops firing. There are two armies, if you like, firing across each other, and these civilians trapped in the middle. So their situation is not very safe at all for them.